Hello, my name is Ruslan, and today I'm going to be talking to you about international expansion of a firm or a company and considerations that go along with that before kind of making that jump into a new market, as well as DataClear and some of the issues that they were facing with wanting to go international. So to start off, some of the reasons why a firm might want to go internationally, quite a few. One would be to really penetrate a new market, expand the foothold of the business itself, gain market share, et cetera, et cetera. New sales, competing in a different style of market. Diversification would be one of them in case, let's say, the economy in one region goes down, you're still making profits from your business in another economy or another part of the world. And cost reduction, and with that, potentially more favorable tax situation depending on what market you're going into. And if the business has something to do with manufacturing, the international market that you're going into, I'm assuming from the US breaking into somewhere else, might have a more favorable cost structure in terms of manufacturing your product as well. One thing that a firm needs to kind of keep in mind when they're exploring international options is, have they actually conquered enough of the domestic market share in order for them to make that leap? And really, do they have the money at the end of the day to be able to enter into an international market? From case studies that we've seen and kind of experience has taught us that many firms greatly undervalue the amount of money that it's going to take in order to break into this international market. And in order to really understand the people there. So specifically, at least having somebody who speaks the language and knows the local populace of the market that you're trying to break into in terms of, let's say, language, likes and dislikes, tastes of food, or, whether it be clothing or, styles of clothing and things like that. As we saw with the situation of Pizza Hut versus Cinnabon. So when Pizza Hut went into the Chinese market, they went in, they did a good amount of market research, they understood the likes and dislikes of the population, they examined what types of food they like, and they adjusted their menu accordingly to the market and what the market likes. Obviously, they still kept their classics like, pepperoni and cheese pizza, but they also introduced things like pizza with squid toppings and other seafood favorites of, the people in that area. Versus the two gentlemen who decided to open up a Cinnabon in China, where they took it and they just plopped the Cinnabon right into, a shopping center or a mall or something like that, and just opened it up and decided that, it would boom because there's a lot of people under the mentality of, if we can capture a fraction of a percentage point, our business will take off and we'll become millionaires. Unfortunately, what they found out later on, a little bit more the hard way, was that Chinese people don't eat as sweet of desserts as like what a regular Cinnabon bun would be. That they're used to less sweet desserts, and it's not something that they really explore and try too often. So their business ended up going, really downhill, and I believe they only have one location still open there at this time. So moving on to the commentators that talked about DataClear's problem. The commentator that most stood out to me was Allison Sander. And she really talked about, in her response to DataClear's problem, about kind of being a little bit too reactive versus properly planning and strategizing. That really spoke to me personally. And I feel like when many companies are a little bit overly reactive, they kind of jump the gun and jump to a conclusion without properly weighing their options, like I talked about before, in terms of strategizing and understanding the costs associated with starting a business. What type of government filings do you have to do? How long does it take to actually get the business licenses, and how many different organizations do you have to file with? So being very reactive will ultimately hurt the company and take away from the opportunities that you would have to even grow the business domestically. So she had a lot of really good thoughts on that, and I feel like I sided with her the most. That's all I have for you today. Thank you very much.